This is Australia Behind Bars.
This is really jail, like real jail.
This is a world where you're either blue...
Every day's a game of cat and mouse.
Calm down.
Zip it. Or you're green.
Jail is very confronting. You're a man with a number. You can't put a masquerade, you can't put a facade. You are who you are.
I've located a jailmate syringe. Can you comment on that?
From the first day behind bars...
There's nothing I like about jail.
...to the last.
All of these women get out at some point and you want them to come out better than what they came in.
That's some Shawshank Redemption shit right there.
Tonight...
She's real uneasy.
A jittery arrival to a max security wing.
She obviously fears for her safety. Maybe someone slipped her a note or something like that.
Using a metal detector to find a mobile phone.
The biggest eye-opener that I have learnt from this job is what they can put in there and what comes out.
How female inmates hide contraband.
Coffee mugs, fake nails and glue.
And...
Inmates are portrayed as this evil sort of characters. It's not true.
Wisdom gained from doing time.
You see a person for who they are. There's no fancy cars, there's no fancy homes. It's just you and the person in front of you.
The average prison sentence in Australia is 1 year, 6 weeks and 2.5 days. Mohammed is serving a 9-year term and is desperate to get reclassified as a minimum security prisoner so he can move to a jail closer to his mother.
My name's Mo, 26 years old. This is the first time I've been incarcerated in prison. For the last 2 years, I've been, the minority in here. At stages, I've been the only Muslim in the pod. I played my part in an armed robbery. I wasn't physically involved, however, I contrived in organising and planning, and I'm aware that my actions are reprehensible.
He's behaved himself inside and has progressed from a maximum to medium security rating.
I've been a sweeper for over a year. It's changed my jail time, that's for sure. And it's a job that everyone wants, or nearly everyone. From the start of the day and start of the week, we'll just start cleaning up and get the pod nice and clean. Well, a sweeper is a privileged job, so we've got to be very sure and very careful what to do, because when you're a sweeper, you want to keep your job, a bit more freedom. Well, you want to keep your mullet?
Yeah, like a little bit. Yeah.
Mohammed is also the prison barber.
Yeah, some of my mates more than happy to give him a haircut, make him look half decent.
He's famous at Wellington for his haircuts.
It's a 5-star service. No, there's no payment at all. You give a good haircut to an inmate, one way or another he's going to return the favour. He's going to give you something.
You got a split sheet or something?
They'll get that on air. We'll try to do everything we can in this place to feel normal. That's what we thrive for in here. So you see a lot of boys asking for haircuts on a weekly basis, and it just makes you feel good. It makes you feel good. They go in the cell, they look in the mirror, and they look normal, and it makes the jail time easier.
The busier he is, the quicker time goes. But nothing stops the guilt Mohammed feels about disappointing his family.
I was born in Iran. My parents are from Iraq, though, so they went through immense troubles to find freedom. My father was a prisoner in Iraq on death row by Saddam Hussein. So he went through monumental efforts to get us to this country. My parents went through all this trouble to get us to here and have a good life, and I've landed in prison.
His parents now want what Mohammed wants, a downgrade in his security rating so he can move to a prison closer to Sydney, where they will finally be able to visit him.
Numerous amount of times I put in an application and it's been rejected, so this time I'm going to try to give him adequate reasoning, and hopefully, and I really do hope so, that they will move me back to Sydney. It's been really hard for my family and friends to come for a visit, given the length distance. So yeah, this application is crucial to me.
Just anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Beautiful.
At Dilwinia, Officer Vanessa is on duty for a rarely filmed lock-in day.
These wheels have a mind of its own.
For operational reasons, cell doors will remain locked for longer than usual for the safety of inmates and staff.
So we're just about to deliver all the lunches. It's a lock-in today, so we're going to have to self-deliver them with the sweeper's help. So on the menu today, we've got a Devon salad roll, dried fruit and yogurt tray, and your banana and your apple. Just drop them there.
The sweeper is the only inmate allowed out of her cell today.
The role of a sweeper, they are a more trusted inmate that has no non-associations with any other inmate in their unit, meaning that they can mix with other inmates without any altercation. All right. So all we're going to do now is just open all the hatches and evenly disperse all of the lunches. Can I just open the hatch for your lunch? Can I just put your lunch at the door then? Yeah. So the lunches are very important for the inmates, especially during a lock-in day, because unfortunately there's not much to do in there other than write letters to their family, watch a telly if they have one, and eat.
What do you want?
Your lunch, do you want it?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you out of the shower yet?
Yeah, I'm in the shower.
Okay. I just treat all inmates equally, no matter what they've done. One could be in here for drink driving, another could be in here for murder, but I will equally treat them the same. I will respect them if they respect me back. I feel like you just have to talk to them like they're a normal human being. So this wing's a little bit less timid than the other side, so we always get a lot of yelling and screaming when we walk in here, as you can hear. I'll speak to them the same way they speak to me. As soon as they disrespect me, that's when I will up it. But I find it's easier to keep calm and collected, and that can help de-escalate a lot of situations. What's wrong? You need to stop yelling. It's not going to... I know. Well, it's not going to get you anywhere yelling, okay?
Miss, how about you tell the camera crew what jail's really like?
You can tell them what jail's really like if you want.
No, because I haven't had a shower.
Okay. Can't do your hair and your makeup quick enough?
Can you shut the door? I can have a shower.
I'm just a naturally happy person. It takes a lot for me to be down in the dumps. I do hear that on a regular basis, that I'm always so happy, like, Miss, why are you always so happy? Why are you always smiling?
But I can see your feet.
Was that you yelling?
No, it's me. I'm back to the cameraman room.
If a situation gets quite elevated, I do have a different demeanour, but I feel like there's no point putting that into practice unless it's really necessary.
Thank you.
All good?
Yep.
If the inmates decide to eat their buy-up food for the day, we do a hot water round, so the sweeper will take the hot water around. A lot of them have noodles in their cell and things like that, so they much prefer to dig into that stuff over the issued food.
And once her job is done,
pop you back in.
The sweeper is returned to her cell.
See you at dinner time.
Coming up,
she's real uneasy.
Vanessa deals with an inmate scared for her life.
She obviously fears for her safety. Maybe someone slipped her a note or something like that.
And
the biggest eye-opener that I have learnt from this job is what they can put in there and what comes out.
What prisoners want to keep hidden.
I've seen some funny things come out of those places. Coffee mugs.
Unit, Vanessa
it's
speaking.
The day after a lock-in day at Dilwinia's Max Security Wing.
Kelly, I don't know where she is.
And the inmates have energy to burn.
No. No. We've got girls in here for aggravated bodily harm, murder. We definitely have the worst of the worst in here. So if there's an officer out in the wing, as there is now, I will always be keeping an eye on her, and there's always 2 officers up here at any one time, if not more. So there's never an officer left on their own for safety reasons. It's just really important that we don't become complacent, because that's the time when we usually get the reality check and something happens. You always, need to be looking over your shoulder every single moment of the day.
A new inmate has caught Officer Vanessa's eye.
She's real uneasy. It's the first thing she said to me when she walked in. I said, "You all right?" She's like, "I'm really nervous." And I just said to the sweeper, "Look out for this one." Yeah. That inmate was moved here this morning and she's feeling really uneasy and really nervous. And yeah, they're currently moving her back down to the cells in the clinic by the looks of it.
The inmate is not saying why she's feeling uneasy, so Vanessa needs to check out her cell.
So this is the inmate cell that just moved in here today, who's currently down in the health centre, obviously getting another assessment to see if she should be moved out of here because she obviously fears for her safety. So I might just put some gloves on, have a look around and see if I can find any reason as to why she fears for her safety. Maybe someone slipped her a note or something like that. She's just got a list of her medication that she's on. But yeah, if someone's done something to her today or said something or slipped her something, it's best to find it now so that we know what's actually happened. But in all honesty, I feel like she's just really uneasy, just been in a cell on her own for a few nights, and now she's coming into a fully occupied wing. It is probably very daunting. I honestly don't think there's anything abnormal in her cell. I just believe that, yeah, she is pretty nervous and just wants to get out of here.
The inmate will be assessed by Justice Health, who will advise on the best course of action for her. Doing the rounds at Silverwater's protection wing today is Officer Dominic, all 6'7" of him.
Yeah, T-block, can we get the middle door unlocked?
He wanted to be a cop, but became a corrections officer 3 years ago.
I've always been intrigued, you know, like about prisons, about, you know, crime, law. When I went and joined the academy and that, you know, it just kept me, yeah, it was one of those jobs where I was just like, wow, I can't wait to, you know, step foot into prison. I can't wait to see how it works.
Dominic found the 10-week officer training course fascinating, but it didn't prepare him for what lay ahead.
It's one of those jobs where you can get abused all day, you know, and it does mentally drain you. And, you know, you do walk out of here thinking, wow, like I've just literally been abused all day. So it does sometimes take a lot out of you. What cell do you want to go?
From 264 to 261.
Jail's jail. So you've got your officers who wear blue, you've got your inmates that wear greens. You know, you got to try stay ahead of them, and they're trying to stay ahead of you. You know, you're not friends, you've got to be professional. You know, obviously they're inmates, they're here for a reason, we're here to uphold the law.
Staying one step ahead is the name of the game.
I've just been called down to T-block, which is a protection pod. We've had reports of contraband getting like thrown over the fence, so we're just going to go do a yard check prior to the inmates coming out to the yard.
Drugs, mobile phones, tobacco, lighters, even cooking spices have been known to get tossed into jail yards.
Today, obviously we didn't find anything in the yard, but you just got to keep on top of it every day and just make sure, you know, we do perform our security checks, because, you know, the day you don't is the day there will be something in the yard.
Above all else, officers need to expect the unexpected.
I think it's a very important part in your career, standing your ground, because if you get stood over by an inmate, or you get put on show, or you don't react, or you don't, you know, do anything about it, I personally think that can affect your whole career. Because if other people see that inmates, you know, put it over you or abused you or threatened you and you don't do anything about it, in my opinion, you look weak. And it's not really a job where you want to look weak.
Just up the road, 25 new recruits are not worried yet about their reputations. They're just happy it's graduation day. Training has included offender management, weapons and officer survival skills. Former Youth Justice Officer Ben is under no illusion what his new career will be about.
I think empathy's a big one. Also, like, resilience, being able to sort of have somebody abuse you one day and then help them out with something the next. I think it's big quality that you need. If you sort of are going to hold a grudge, over something, then it's going to be a hard job for her.
Some of Ben's classmates will drop out only a few weeks into the job. Wayne is not planning on being one of them.
I've been working on the roads and I got a small farm, so I've always been a labourer all my life, and late in life the opportunity came up to apply for a job here. I think, don't be frightened to do it.
Both Ben and Wayne will be on probation for 24 months at the Wellington Correctional Centre.
I'm excited. It's something I am nervous about because I fully anticipate there's got to be a lot for me to take in, but at the same time I'm very excited about that.
When I grow up, I want to be the same thing as you.
Oh, you want to be the same thing as Dad?
Coming up...
All right, ladies, turn around and face me.
On the hunt for a hidden mobile phone.
Men will secrete things between their butt cheeks, but women are able to secrete things internally.
And Ben's first day on the job.
You always have your foot on the door, because if you've got an aggressive inmate on the other side of that door and they kick it, your foot stops the brunt of it coming towards you. So I'd rather have a sore ankle than a busted face.
Four years into a 9-year sentence for his part in an armed robbery. Mohammed has recently applied again to be reclassified as a lower risk prisoner so he can move to a jail closer to his family in Sydney.
You can have as many boys as you want around you, but at the end of the day, your family is your best support network. For encouragement, a bit of hope, a bit of optimism.
Mohammed has been a model prisoner and has slowly worked his way down the security classification ratings. He started as A2, considered one of the highest security risks, second only to those charged for terrorism. He's now a B rating, or medium security, but needs manager of security Justin to give him a minimum classification.
I think he's one of your sweepers.
Yeah, he's a good sweeper. He's got good case notes.
Yeah.
Never puts a foot wrong.
Yeah, because he's put in for a compassionate transfer to Sydney and got somebody that's unwell in his family, and he's asked for an early classification, and they've actually recommended for him to progress again to a C1.
Officer Dave is pretty pleased that he will be the one to give Mohammed the good news.
He's one of the better inmates. He's here to do his time without any dramas with other inmates. He's got a sick family member and he needs to be closer to that family member, and we can accommodate it. There's no reason why he can't go down there.
Did you check for the newspaper?
Hang on a sec, I just got to talk to Mohammed. So, mate, your class A's come back.
Yep.
Looks like you're going to Sydney.
Okay.
To be closer to your family. All right, so that's what you wanted?
Excellent,
yep.
Thank you.
All right,
thank you very much.
All the best, eh?
Thank you very much.
See ya.
Do you have any idea when I'm going to leave?
Probably Monday's train. All right?
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Righto.
Thank you.
baby.
Yeah, very thrilled, absolutely thrilled. So first thing in the morning, I'll call my mother and my family and loved ones and let them know. Hopefully to make their day and their week.
The other shoe.
Keeping contraband out of her jail is a never-ending battle for Senior Officer Lim.
No sharps anywhere?
After nearly 20 years on the job, she's seen it all.
Men will secrete things between their butt cheeks, and that's as far as it goes. But women are able to secrete things internally. They call it the hairy handbag. It sounds a bit horrible when you know what it is, but that's what they call it.
It's hoped the introduction of full-body scanners will reduce this age-old practice.
All right, ladies, thank you for your time. The biggest eye-opener that I have learnt from this job is what they can put in there and what comes out.
Today, the target is a mobile phone.
We're heading down to the kitchen. They've got some inmates working in the kitchen. One of the girls that works down there is, they've just received a little bit of intel that she could be in possession of a mobile phone. So we'll take the cell sense down there. Hopefully we'll pick it up. Mobile phones in female centres aren't as common as in male centres. I don't know why that is, but it's important to keep them out because they can organise business from within the centre, and they can organise getting contraband in, etc., contrabanding for other people, and just basically running prohibited businesses outside the centre while they're still inside. The cell sensor we're using is a very ultra-sensitive metal detector, so it detects the metal parts within a mobile phone, and then that will actually detect it if it's been secreted internally as well as what's sitting on a person. So it's just pretty much a stronger one than you see at the airport.
Lynn is not surprised that one of the inmates may have a mobile phone hidden.
I've seen some funny things come out of those places. Coffee jars, coffee mugs, nails, like fake nails and glue. One girl I searched and she had fake nails and glue, and I'm like, why? And she said, I've got to do my nails for visits. I can't go to visits with my nails like this. And so she had a full set of fake nails and glue and nail polish. So some of it's not always harmful, you know, some of it's things that they just want. But yeah, interesting things. You know what, I get it. All right, girls, want to get your head outside for me? Down this way. Just follow the officer's directions, we'll take you outside. Legally, we can't do cavity searches. So surprise searches are essential. This way. If they know we're coming, they're obviously going to remove it and place it somewhere. So if we just surprise them all the time, we've just got a lot more chance of picking up contraband that they're carrying that they shouldn't have on them. All right, ladies, turn around and face me. We're actually going to do some cell sense searches, so some metal detector searches today. One at a time, walk past the pole and then we'll get you to come back. So I'll get you to come over for me. We set the cell sensor up in an area. We then line the girls up and tell them that they have to walk slowly past the pole as close as they can without touching it. They walk about approximately a metre past and they've got to turn around and come back. The same side. If it goes off, then we take any visible metal off them, we get them to remove it. Right, you ready? Give me your watch, because that'll indicate straight away. All right, okay. And then we get them to do it again, and then if there is another indication, then we'll have to do a complete strip search. Walk down past the pole, nice and close to the pole. You're going to take it nice and slow. All right, ladies, turn around and face me.
The immediate action team is searching for an illegal mobile phone.
Walk down past the pole, nice and close to the pole.
Inmates have been instructed to walk past a highly sensitive metal detector.
Do you have an underwire bra on at all?
Bra, yes.
Do you have an underwire in that bra?
Yeah.
One of the girls that indicated on the pole, because they wear underwire bras, sometimes the metal, that's how finely tuned it is, that will pick up on that. So she's just removing that and then we'll run past her again.
If the inmate does have a mobile phone, she's likely to have time added to her sentence.
Girls, everybody up the other end for me. There you go. Come back on the same side. Easy. All right, good. Yeah, girls, so it will pick up on your underwire, but we will ask you to remove that, so you can't get away with it.
I'm wide left, baby.
No thanks. Don't want to know. Good news, we didn't find anything. Mobile phones being found on your person as an inmate is a very serious offence, so they will face court for that, and it will more than likely end up being extra time on their sentence. Back to work. Behave.
No contraband found this time, but the immediate action team has other intel to investigate in another cell pod. Driving in for his first day as a probationary officer at Wellington, it's not surprising Ben is feeling a tad apprehensive.
Feeling a little bit nervous. Spent a lot of time training, but in a lot of ways this is where the training really begins.
With the inmates, they're definitely going to know that I'm new. They're used to seeing certain people around all the time, so walking in with no stripes, they'll try and pull one over on me, but keep my head on a swivel and
Hi, Ben.
Hi.
His mentor is experienced officer India.
All right, we'll make our way through into the key watch and we'll go from there. That one's charged if you want that one.
45 52945.
So you're rostered in with security patrol today. What they do first is they'll go around and they'll do a head check of each cell. We're basically just checking that everyone's all right in that cell.
The theory that we learn to start off with is all background, and it doesn't really make a lot of sense until you put it into practice, and then it's like, wow, that's what all those PowerPoints are all about.
So when they do a let go, you'll see that there's always 2 staff on a door. So one will operate the key and have their foot on the door, and the other person will then open the door once it's been unlocked. So you always have your foot on the door, because if you've got an aggressive inmate on the other side of that door and they kick it, your foot stops the brunt of it coming towards you. So I'd rather have a sore ankle than a busted face.
In training, they showed us, how this process happens and the reasons we do things the way we do. But yeah, it's definitely different to see it in the flesh. When you first open that door, it is can be a little bit intimidating. Our training does prepare us very well for what we do here, but now that it's actually doing it for real, it all makes a lot more sense. It's just about really knuckling down on learning the routines, learning the procedures, and just becoming more comfortable with how everything operates.
Behind bars, privacy is almost a forgotten word. Even personal mail is heavily scrutinised.
We're reading the letters for any intel that could help us in regards to any breaches of security taking place. So we're information gathering as well as trying to prevent drug introduction into a centre. So it's quite tedious, and it's done on a daily basis.
And once a letter is read, it's not sent on in its original form.
Every piece of mail that comes into a correctional centre that is sent in for an inmate will go through the photocopying processes. So we will photocopy their envelopes and their letters and their photos, and we will then distribute them to them, and then we dispose of anything that's actually come in from the community to try and eliminate any introduction of drugs.
The main drug target at the moment are buprenorphine strips.
We actually have some pictures here of what they actually look like. So that's one side of the envelope where bupe strips were located. One of these strips, which is approximately that size, is worth about $600 within the correctional centre. So it's used as a currency. So that would be a value of $7,200 just in one envelope.
So far, today's batch of mail is clean, but Officer Renee is suspicious of this Polaroid photo.
These are interesting. A good way of concealing is to actually separate pages and put drugs in them and then put them back together. As you can see, the light's not coming through. They're quite thick, so I'm just feeling to see if there's anything that feels abnormal in the texture or the thickness of it. We're getting nothing. We're getting just total blackness. I'm going to attempt to open this to see if there's anything concealed in these things. So there's 3 layers in here. So if I break apart the layers, doesn't appear to be anything on that, but I'm still not able to get a clear indication as to whether there is anything abnormal in this photo.
Photos are the only mail passed on to inmates in their original form, but not this one.
So they will go back to the sender with an explanation as to why they've been sent back to them so they don't make that mistake again.
Coming up,
Leaving Wellington, it's going to be bittersweet.
a poignant farewell.
All right. Love you, brother.
And
I advise you to step forward and declare it to me now. I'll take that as a no.
the immediate action team won't take no as an answer.
Claire just found some gloves wrapped with some string.
It's a great day for me. I'm very happy from inside. It's been great.
Inmate Mohammed has some great news to share with his mum.
The application that I told you about, the early classification application, I put it in and it got approved. So good news, I'll be coming back to Sydney in the next 7 days. Yes, I can finally get to see you after 2 years. You gotta wait till I get moved, then you can book a visit.
Mohamed's mum has not been able to make the 5.5-hour drive to see him, but pretty soon he will be a lot closer.
Yes, I'll be packing my stuff in the next couple of days and they'll put me on the truck and I'll be in Sydney. It's a bit surreal. It's been a long time coming. I've been trying to get out of here the moment I got to here, so it's good for myself and good for everyone that's been supporting me whilst I've been in here and whilst I've been in jail.
He was going to take his time packing, but the move is sooner than Mohamed thought.
I was just informed by the correctional staff that I'll be leaving to Sydney tomorrow. You know, it's a bit of a late notice, but that's based on security purposes. They've given us 2 tubs. I've been here for 2 years, you know, it's impossible to... My clothes is only 1 tub and my property's 2 tubs, so all the rest I've got to somehow manage to fit them in. Family photos, valuable and essential. I'm ecstatic. It's a long time coming. I've anticipated this day for a long time. It just feels surreal, but I've got to sort of rush everything. They've given me half an hour to pack all my property. It's marginal time, so yeah, I haven't really actually processed it. I haven't comprehended it as of yet, but I'm very excited.
The 2 tubs with Mohamed's belongings must be under the 15-kilogram limit, although he's allowed a 3rd tub for legal material to do with his case.
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah. Finally.
So you got 15 kilos. What's that one going as? Got me? Yep. That's the heaviest one, won't it? A few cans in there. Should be right.
Sweet.
All good. All righty. Closer to home?
Yeah, I'm from Sydney, so...
Yeah, mad.
Been waiting for this day for 700 days.
He may have been waiting for this transfer for a long time, but Mohamed is leaving behind friends he had not expected to make in jail.
Leaving Wellington, it's going to be bittersweet. I've been very fortunate that I can genuinely say that I've met some great people in here and friends for life. See you tomorrow, brother. Thank you for everything. They've guided me, they've supported me, they've mentored me, you know, it's been significant.
Hopefully I'll see you there.
There's no facade in here, you can't put a masquerade, you are who you are, we're all wearing greens. We're all the same, we're all going through similar hardships and you see a person for who they are. There's no fancy cars, there's no fancy homes, fancy clothing. It's just you and the person in front of you. And it's difficult to comprehend for people on the outside because it's stereotyped. The fact that inmates are portrayed as this evil sort of characters, it's not true.
Love you, man.
Love you too, my brother.
I'll call Mary.
I will. Georgie.
All right.
Love you, brother. Spoke to my family yesterday. Spoke to them this morning again and wish me luck on the journey and they're very excited to see me this week, God willing. Yeah, it's very important for my mother. You know, she's obviously going through a bit of hardship at the moment and it's perfect timing. She's been fasting for 30 days and not to be self-assertive, but I think it's the perfect present for her, for me to go closer to home in Sydney.
Security to M-Block. Yeah, can you advise when I can send an Alpha up for intake?
Yeah, clear up here.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you, Chief.
See ya.
I'm a bit nervous and anxious, to be honest. It's been 2 years that I haven't made any physical contact with anybody. No, my father doesn't cry either. My mother will be crying for sure. They're absolutely ecstatic that they're going to see me and vice versa. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm not going to be crying.
Regulation strip search, you got anything to declare? No sharps, no nothing on you?
After the strip search, it's a 5.5-hour drive to Sydney.
Okay, follow me.
Every single thing that I've done at Landmark Prison was motivated by greed. I wanted to be something more than what I was. I wanted to have a life of extravagance. I wanted to be something where I shouldn't have. My parents went through all this trouble to get us to here and have a good life, and I've unfortunately landed in prison.
Next,
actually, that's what they use to make a tampon.
a cell raid uncovers more inmate ingenuity.
They wrap syringes or drugs up and then secrete it like a tampon. And then obviously they can retrieve it with the string.
Back at Dilwinia, and the immediate action team has another piece of intel about illegal drugs coming into the jail.
One of the inmates came to me and told me that one of the girls had received a contraband drop from over the fence. I told Linny about it this morning and she's decided that we're going to go up in a minute and search all the inmates within that unit and the particular inmate's cell.
All inmate intel is taken seriously and investigated.
A few of them particularly like to maintain good relationships with staff members. If they get caught with something, they might get, in their mind, a bit of an easier punishment.
The other reasons could be just they don't like them and they want to give back at them or whatever, so it's a little bit of just a payback. Or they want to get them out of the unit that they're in, moved somewhere else, that's another reason. Or, as Claire said, it could be that they think that they will get in less trouble if they actually give us some information, which that's really not up to us. That's up to someone of a higher pay level than us. Guys, just have a listen up. If you do have any items on your person or in your cell that you know about that you are not allowed to have, I advise you to step forward and place your hands on your head and declare it to me now. I'll take that as a no. Let's stay nice and quiet, and we're done as soon as we can.
Lynn is not expecting the PAT search to come up with anything.
Step a little bit wider for me, a little bit wider, put your arms out to the side. A lot of girls are really good at holding that in there, and you can't see it, and it doesn't just fall out. Sometimes it does, but not often.
Which means cell searches are super important.
Actually, that's what they use to make a tampon. They do that and then they wrap it up around with this and then they stick it up there.
No drugs yet, but uncovering items used to conceal contraband is the next best thing.
Claire just found some gloves wrapped with some string, and some of the girls use like the tips of the gloves with the string and create like a makeshift tampon almost. They wrap syringes or drugs or other things up in it, in tissue and stuff like that, and then secrete it like a tampon. And then obviously they can retrieve it with the string.
Nothing can be proven by finding these items, but it does mean the inmate will be watched closely.
It's always good to not find something, but that doesn't mean that nothing's in here. It just means we haven't found the hidey holes, that's all. But it's part of your dynamic security, though, doing your patrols and doing your searches and making them aware that we can come in at any time. So it's part of our job.
It's the 1-month anniversary for our new recruits.
No 2 days are the same. There's something new to learn every day, and it's things like that that's made this transition from me coming from youth justice. It's made me sure that I've made the right move.
Like the 25 in his cohort, Ben must pass all his on-the-job assessments during his 24-month probation period.
Your actual training doesn't really start until you graduate. It really is just a framework. So once you're on the ground and you're dealing with the inmates that aren't running to a training program, that have their own agenda, it's when you really start learning.
Yeah, so at Wellington we had a riot at East time last year. This was a get-up that everyone was in.
It's all about small little wins. For instance, getting somebody who's normally quite abrupt or rude to officers, that they might make the decision to treat an officer with a bit more respect, like a please or a thank you. It's all in the little wins, and that's where we make a difference. I should have done this years ago. I've really enjoyed my time here, and I can see that this is an organisation I'll be involved with for a long time.
Officer Wayne has also found a home at Wellington.
And from the other officers, you pick up little bits and pieces all the time.
You're always going to get some of the names wrong.
Yeah.
Some of the guys will obviously react differently.
Do it on purpose,
but even if you go, mate, I don't know what it is, can you tell us what it is? Yeah. But no, you did well.
Or somewhere near it. Yeah. At the end of the day, if something goes wrong, pear-shaped, They want to know that you've got their back, and I want to know that they've got mine.
$77,000 children across the country have a parent in jail. For these dads at Wellington, being part of the Shine for Kids program has helped them stay connected to their little ones.
We're running story time at the moment. It's to connect the dads with their children and build that bond so that, you know, we're trying to stop recidivism.
Writing stories has helped inmate Daryl feel a part of his son's life.
Then one day, the volcano erupted and lava spewed out down and across the valley. My son, he loves dinosaurs, and yeah, Miss always putting little activity for days on for us to do things with our kids, which is, well, I'd rather be sitting here doing this than sitting in the yard doing anything else.
1 in 5 inmates have parents who are also incarcerated, and boys are much more likely to follow their father's footsteps than girls.
I've done a lot of jail, maybe 20 years in instalments. I'm 40. I've been coming in now since I was about 14. Becomes home. It's my safety net, in a sense. But when things get a bit hard outside, you just stuff up and come to jail. But now I've got a son, things are changing, yeah. My son's all my drive, my focus for when I get out, so yeah, I don't want him to go down this path, so it's time to, just take things one day at a time, you know?
That's what we're about, is letting the children know that they can still contact and talk to their parent. And then with the offender parents, it gives them the opportunity to give something back to their family.
That's why we signed up.
That's it. Is that what you think, you know, sort of
It's
story
all signed
time
up,
is?
yeah, 100%.
But when he sees how cool Dad
He'll
is...
be loving it, yeah.
Yeah, with dinosaurs.
Yeah, he loves dinosaurs, so
Yeah.
it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because they may have offended in our society, people shouldn't be branded for life. You know, people do get a chance to be rehabilitated.
Next time...
This is the first time I've ever seen one of these.
Inmates get inventive.
Located a kettle. They put these 2 wires into the wall. The bag was inside of it, and it'll boil the water up.
She may get to leave jail every day to go to work.
I have 2 wardrobes, and I keep all my greens in one and all my normal clothes in the other one.
But Norma is still a long way from freedom.
It's still when to wake up, when the doors open, when the doors close. So I never forget that I'm in jail.
And
I've never had a job before in my life. I'm pretty much been in and out of jail since I was 18.
Can Tristan get it right next time he leaves jail?
Once they are out, if they don't have a good support network, it can often almost feel like you're setting them up to fail.